the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes, February 3rd, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Commissioner Pierce,
I'll second.
Commissioner Hatch. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Awards and proclamations, nothing at this time. We do have a public hearing on the list. It's Nellie's Bar and Lounge and Liquor License. I will first turn it over to Jason for an explanation of the letter. And then from there, I understand there's somebody here that will talk. So we'll call on you upon that. So.
This is the time and place for a hearing on revocation or suspension of liquor license. A notice of hearing was sent to Mr. Chuck Nelson on behalf of Nellie's Bar on February 7th by certified mail. Was received the next day.
Jason, could I ask you to use the mic so that we can hear a little bit? I'm sorry. Okay.
Would you like me to start over?
No, you can just continue.
Again, the notice of hearing was received and signed for on February 8th of this year. The proposed action to be taken by the city commission is listed in the notice of hearing as either revocation or suspension. It would depend on the city commissioner's conclusions at tonight's hearing. The reasons for the proposed revocation or suspension are listed in that notice of hearing, but briefly stated, violations of or alleged violations of the municipal code, including allowing drunken inebriates, disorderly persons to frequent the place of business, ceasing to meet the qualifications for holding such a license, violating any other ordinances of the city. This notice of hearing is the last or most recent step following voluntary suspension following a letter issued by myself and reviewed by the police department to Mr. Nelson for violations, alcohol violations in October of 2024, and it is escalated to this point. So again, this is a hearing on revocation or suspension of liquor license. It's being recorded electronically as required by the municipal code and state law. So it will be up to the commissioners as to what, if any, action to take.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jason. At this time, I know Chuck's in the audience and he's represented by an attorney. I do know that we received this document from the chief of police. Commission has had a lot of concerns. It's been a continual thing that's been going on and promises made but not kept. So I guess it's led us to this point. And at this point, I guess Kelly, are you representing Chuck and wish to speak? Would you identify yourself for the record,
Yes.
please?
My name is Kelly Swenseth. I'm an attorney here in Devils Lake, and I represent Chuck and Helen Nelson. And Helen's guardian is Lisa Craddock, their daughter. And after speaking with the family and reviewing the letter from the city, they have decided that they would like to request that the city would consider a suspension of the license, but that they would continue to hold that license. They're planning on listing the property for sale, and anyone who would buy the property would then have to bring compliance with the liquor license. And so that is what they are asking, so that they can list the property and business for sale together with a license attached to it. So in addition to that, they're also going to provide, so this is not only a bar establishment, but it's also a multi-tenant unit. And so I understand that there are a lot of calls for service, but with those two uses of the property, in order to, so that Chuck's agent, who is Gavin Brown, who's here tonight. He can help make sure that the tenants are in compliance, that they have a background check, that they have lease agreements. And all of that's going to be necessary anyways if they're going to be listing the property for sale, because a seller is going or buyer is going to want to see that information. So that is how that's what their plan is to move forward. So I guess the request is that the city would allow that that license to continue, but they're planning on closing the business.
Okay, anybody?
I have no issues with that. Yeah, it sounds actually pretty reasonable.
Jason?
I'm good with that.
Well, I certainly don't have any issues. Jays?
Absolutely not, sounds. I do appreciate Mr. Nelson and Kelly for coming in and representing that.
As well as I do. I appreciate that and wish you all the success. And I guess as far as what we have to do, Jason, how do we finish this out? If we agree with what they're doing, but we still got to act on the suspension.
It would be up to the commission if it votes to suspend the license, and if so, for how long, or what the requirements,
Okay.
what any conditions would be on the suspension. Or, I can tell you what you can do. I can't make the decision for you,
Correct.
obviously, but,
Yep.
or whether to vote and say that no action will be taken.
Okay.
So,
But we want the
So-
assurance
so-
that's going to take
Well,
place.
so to be clear, are they asking for no suspension of it, or are they saying, go ahead and have the suspension so they can sell the place? I was a little,
They're agreeing to the suspension until a buyer or an interested buyer can
That's
come
what I
into
wanted to ask.
compliance with the requirements of the liquor license, so that can be transferred to them.
So I guess all we have to do is have a motion to approve.
I'll make
it.
the motions to go ahead and suspend the license so they have the ability to place the. Yeah.
I think, based upon the discussion, my understanding is the wishes are to suspend the license indefinitely until such time as a suitable buyer for the establishment can be found.
Yes.
Yes.
And that would commence immediately.
Yes, I would think it'd be immediate.
That, again, is
Yeah.
up to the commission.
Okay, is that the way you want the motion to read?
Can I ask a question before I do that?
Okay,
Would that give, if it, will they need time to get everything established within the facility? If we ended it now, suspended it now, would that close the facility? But would they be able to, they'll still be able to do everything they need to do to get ready for,
Yeah, they
you
just
know what I mean? They're
will
not,
be closed for business so that
Okay.
they're not operating and serving.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to put any more hindrance on his steps that he has to take to get it up for sale
Yeah.
or whatever. Okay.
your client wishes to speak.
Peter is one of my main men, and he's thinking about buying it, having it, but he just asked me, he says, if we couldn't finish out the pool season, because we have several pool teams out of there through La Fleur. And what else?
When does that end?
When does it end?
The playoffs, there's a week off for makeup game and then probably 3 weeks of playoffs.
I'm thinking that's working.
Coordinate with the first and switch around a bit with different firms.
Which
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what we want to do.
I'll make the motion to suspend the license immediately until they find the buyer, that the license can be switched over so they can continue for the next purchase.
The buyer has to be able to
Apply.
for the license
Yes.
and be accepted.
Yeah, the commission will have to approve the transfer of the license to a new owner.
Right.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
that time.
Yeah, it's, didn't come out that way, but that's what I was saying.
Is that, I realize what you wanted, but it kind of creates a little issue here for the situation that we're in.
So, Mayor Mullen, members of the commission, just listening to the conversation, right, I think a motion that would get done exactly what you do, a motion to suspend indefinitely until further transfer of the license.
Yeah.
To a new operator.
I'll make the motion then to suspend the license indefinitely until application for transfer of the license for a new owner.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Kanowski. Any further discussion?
Does that, just so I'm clear in my mind, does that mean if Peter or somebody buys this of me,
And he gets approved for the liquor license, then it can
Yeah.
be reopened.
no, put up right away and do his, finish pool season out?
Yeah, if he can get approved, and there's some timeline, there's some, before he can take over, Chuck, it's not, just doesn't happen that quick.
I know.
But whoever buys it and wants the liquor license, he probably should see if he can get the liquor license and make sure he's cleared before he buys it. That'd be, so you don't get something that you don't, want. So, Gavin?
And while we're here,
Yeah.
I will,
Microphone.
oh, well, it's really just more of a comment. We will be listing it for sale by the end of this week with High Valley Real Estate. So everyone on YouTube can know that.
Okay, Gavin.
Are you gonna fix it up, Gavin?
Okay, so we're clear on that, everybody, for the motion? Okay. Kelly, that's okay with the
Okay.
plan? So,
Thank you.
okay, we will do a vote. We'll do a roll call.
Commissioner Hash?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
Commissioner Kanowski?
Aye.
President Mullen.
All right, motion carried. Want to thank you guys and wish you well, Chuck. You were in a good business. Unfortunately, you had some issues, but good luck in your future endeavor. So, you bet. Okay. Nothing under bid openings. Visitors and delegations, nothing. We'll go into portfolios. Commissioner Kanowski.
Mr. Gaffman, tell me about the water problem.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Okay, Mike.
As everybody knows, we had a pretty major water break yesterday morning, feeding the water tower. As part of that, we lost pressure to our entire distribution system. We were able to get the line isolated yesterday afternoon. Water was restored to the city, but as part of losing the pressure to the system, we have to go through standard protocol. We have a boil order in effect as of 4:00 last night. That remains in effect and will be in effect until we get some results back. We've been working directly with the Department of Environmental Quality, doing everything we need to with them. Samples were sent down to Bismarck this afternoon. We're awaiting results. Should get something back from them hopefully tomorrow afternoon. If things go well, that order may be lifted. If not, we'll be looking at some additional testing and we'll go from there. Residents throughout the city should have access to water. If you don't, I encourage you to call our on-call number just to let people know. That's 351-0209 if you don't have water service. With the water service we have, it's a boil order for drinking and cooking. So water is safe to use for bathing, washing to certain people. But if you want additional information, all of it is posted on our city website, our city Facebook page. There's links to the boil order itself. There's links to the Department of Environmental Quality's kind of guidelines for restaurants, commercial businesses, kind of help them walk through it. We've had phone calls all day long. Everybody at the office has been briefed on how to handle those. Likely send them back to us. We've been answering people. People have been really good. So if they need more information, go on the city website, find it there. Once we get more updates on the boil order, that will be posted on the city website, city Facebook page. We'll put it out to the radio, local newspaper, the news, everywhere we can to let everybody know that it's been lifted. But as of now, the boil order remains in place.
What about washing dishes? Are they safe to do that or should they avoid that as well?
Washing dishes has been kind of We haven't been given a clear answer. It depends on if you have a dishwasher that's somewhat newer, has a sanitized cycle. The requirement is boiling water, 212 degrees for a minute, rolling boil. If you can get that with your dishwasher and read your manufacturer specs, perfect.
The people with filter systems in their homes, a lot of them were wondering, and I don't remember if that works well enough to take care of that problem or not.
We haven't been saying any filter system. If you're a commercial business and you know that you're meeting your requirements, feel free. Residential, same thing. But what we've been kind of addressing is it's a boil order. Water needs to be boiled for cooking. We're not going to make a blanket statement on, yep, your filter system works.
I
We just want to
understand
be,
that, yeah, and that's kind
we
of.
want to err on the side of caution. Last night, I think fire department, some help there. They went out along Highway 2 in downtown, kind of let restaurants, hotels, gas stations, handed out the boil order, gave them some guidelines. Here you go. Myself, Spencer, Mike last night talked to all the group homes, nursing homes, schools, daycares, just about everybody, so they knew instantly what was going on. It's been word of mouth for residents in the city, and I think it's spreading pretty well. So people have been made aware. And
Job well done, you guys, all staff, well done. Can't say enough.
I'll tell you what, I've been first responder for 32 years, right? And we always get this praise of being these, being first responders. But when I saw these guys out there in that water and it's 25 below zero, I thought, and then I didn't have water, it was dripping, I thought, when you really need things like that, you just take it for granted.
Mhm.
And those guys, they did a great job, and the water was up and running real quickly, and I was really proud of them.
yeah, special shout out to the utility department. They went out, did what they had to do. I think water was out for maybe a couple hours. I mean, that's the line that feeds our tower. That's a big deal. When myself and Mike heard where the break was, that's kind of oh no.
Yeah.
So the fact that we got it done when we did in this temperature and this,
When the water was lost completely here, did that affect all the water going north too, to all those other places?
right now they are shut off service from us because our understanding is if they're provided water from the same supply, they would be under the same boil order effect. So we cut them off the moment we knew. So Northeast and everybody up there didn't have to go through the same thing we're going through right now.
Okay.
They're managing right now, but we do have some things in place if we need to. Not only utility department, street department, we had guys on site helping clean the water and ice. Fire department was out. PD was obviously out. Rural water came and helped so we could switch over water to the hospital. City staff was here. I mean, everybody stepped up. So
Was everybody safe though? Nobody had any cold weather injuries?
as far as I know, everybody's good to go. So everybody was taken care of. We had some warming huts up there. Guys had food. We had community people.
That's awesome.
Businesses stepped up, offered food, water, drinks.
Awesome.
Coffee Connection offered chili if you wanted it. People and Facebook, all of our comments, 99% of our comments, positive. Community stepped up. They understood what the
Yep.
guys were going through. Worst day of the year to have to do it.
Yeah.
Guys stepped up, got it done. So
How
kudos to
long
them.
is 10th Street going to be down?
10th Street right now, we are planning repairs for Thursday. Wait for it to get a little bit nicer. That section has been isolated. Water tower's full, working at full, exactly how we want it to. There's a block of 10th Street from 5th Avenue to 6th Avenue, closed, pretty good size hole. Once we get it open, see exactly what's going on there. We're getting materials staged, ready to go. So hopefully Thursday morning, afternoon, we can get in there, get it open, complete the repairs. Once we do that, we'll flush it hard, make sure everything's out of there. We'll chlorinate it and we'll test that before we put that back online. Right now, the rest of the city, once we get the boil order taken off, that passes, they're good. But to get that stretch where that's, you might have something in there, we'll make sure that's safe to use before we put that back online as well. And as far as we know, there's only one service on that. We've talked to that homeowner, made accommodations with them, make sure they're good to go. So as far as we know, things are going as well as they can, but
I will be there to take a look at that hole. That's the worst water break I've ever seen.
We've got some preliminary pictures of it, and it's a pretty good sized break. So
Is it on the cast iron pipe? It's
it's a
cast concrete?
16-inch cast iron line that comes directly from the water treatment plant to the water tower. It's our
It's
main,
not going to be a sleeve or you're going to have a section of pipe?
correct. Yep.
Was it
So
just
we've got,
the cold weather that caused it to go, or?
we're still, until we get it open, we're not sure,
Yeah.
but some sort of cold weather, frost made something move, whether that was an adjacent manhole or a valve or something. Once we get it open, we'll know for sure. And you know, me and Mike will try to figure out exactly what caused
We
it.
got no doubt you'll figure it out.
And you had an estimate of loss of water in that timeline?
I don't think so. We've got, it's 500,000 gallon water tower and that emptied. So, you know, you're gonna be north of that. It didn't take long for that thing to empty.
No, not at,
No.
it was the March
We usually
break.
run at 60 some odd pounds. We were down to 20 and it's not, I'm sure people have seen the videos. It was,
Yeah.
it was going. So that's a big line, but
Another one break today, but
we did have an additional break on the industrial park today. We were able to shut those valves off, let it simmer, that one settled down. So we're gonna kind of let that one go until we get a little bit more time. Residents out there, businesses out there still have access to water, so they aren't. We'll take that one every day of the week
Yeah.
instead of that one. So
well, that
was huge.
Yeah, we did appreciate all the work you guys did there. It was great.
I wish I could take all the credit, but
Yeah, I
that
know.
was
No,
those
You take
utility
some.
guys.
I'll
You
take
get some,
most of it.
yeah.
I'll take some.
Most of it.
Okay, Spencer.
Just real quick, you know, Mike's not here right now, right? And, you know, Mike takes a lot of heat because of the nature of his profession. Right? Sometimes it just comes to the territory.
Sometimes he deserves it.
But, you know, he nailed the response and the protocols required and in the moment, calm under pressure. You know, the town had no greater ally than him in that moment and executed flawlessly. And Mayor, we were here at City Hall, and what a luxury it is when you have 75 plus years of experience between Mike, Joel, and Paul Aaron's. And the best that you can do is just get out of the way and, in my case, coordinate pizza delivery and whatnot. So
We had a need for you somewhere.
we had a need, but what a luxury it is to have people like that at the
True.
city that just know what they're going to do, and you can just let them do their job, and they just execute flawlessly with a good attitude. So thank you, and thank you to the community as well.
Absolutely. Thanks to the community. Awesome. They always have stepped up, and then that's what makes you proud to be part of this community. So good kudos to them.
We good?
Yep, that's it, I guess.
I hope that's why.
Hope that's it.
Okay. Commissioner Hatch.
Got anything from sanitation?
I will give another shout out to those guys. They were out double route today with the holiday yesterday.
Great.
Miserably cold. They jumped on the trucks and they didn't get the glory. So they're out there doing their job just like they do every day. So
Anything new in engineering?
just helping out as much as we can with the water break. So getting that kind of addressed and yeah, I think we'll talk about some of the facility stuff later, but
Perfect. Rob?
The Planning Commission is meeting on Thursday, the 27th at 7 a.m. They have a request for a change of zoning for 4 parcels out at Free Zone. So if anyone wants any more information on that, they can feel free to get a hold of the offices here and we can get that information for them. The first bill is passed through and been signed by the governor. It was for the primary residence property tax credit for individuals who own a trust or in a trust. They have been exempted from that by the way the law was originally written, so they didn't get the $500 primary residence credit last year. Now they are eligible for it, and it's retroactive. So if they apply, they have to apply by May 1st. They can get their application in. They can get a $500 abatement for last year, and then get their application for this next year. Again, if anyone has any questions about that, feel free to give the offices a call, and I'll help them through with the process of what that would be. Then got the interest rates this morning from Gate City on our city revitalization program that we're partnering with them. 10-year home equity loan will be 4.48%, and a 15-year will be 4.99%. That application period will open up on March 17th, and we'll be getting more information out about that as that comes close to. But other than that, that's all I've got.
Thank you. That's all I got.
Okay. Commissioner Pierce.
Some good news, Chief.
Yep. So quick on the ARF update. We have one more meeting tomorrow morning at 8:30. Hopefully button everything up. We're tentatively looking at Monday to switch everything over to the fire department.
Okay.
Pending all the conversation tomorrow, but we're hoping for Monday.
Thanks for all your hard work on that. I know it's
Yep.
been a long time and a lot of work's been done, so thank you.
Yep. State Fire School's coming up the 27th of this month. We'll have a couple guys over there probably instructing again like normal. So, and then if you guys see in your portfolios there or the agenda, we did a monthly report, just a little recap of what we did in January. If you got any questions on it, just go ahead and ask.
Looks good. Buddy.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I do like it.
You're gonna copy it, aren't you?
I am.
We have our LEC meeting tomorrow. And just discussing some other stuff that's popped up here for the possible new LEC. So just, I'll brief the next commission meeting, how this meeting goes.
Yes.
And I believe that is all I have.
Okay, well, under Commissioner Eulichkamp's engineering, or she's got streets and,
I know last week they were doing some widening around town, blowing some snow off some curbs just to widen out a little bit while we got some time. Biggest thing up on 10th Street right now, it's closed from 5th Avenue to 6th Avenue. And then it's a little dicey going east of there. I think they're going to try to wait for a little better temperatures, get some of that ice and whatnot moved off that street. So
I'm assuming you're aware of the street pole that's down by Levers on the south
yep,
side?
yeah, truck hit that. We've got that. It's all capped. It's safe.
Okay.
We've got supplies ordered for that. Submitted through insurance. Bertram's going to deal with that one. So
Okay.
that one's another one on the list to fix. So as far as that, nothing crazy for streets.
Okay. Chief.
2024 annual report has been completed for your review. If you have any questions, let me know. Just offhand, it was a pretty good year last year, I think, overall. We went through a lot of leadership change. Commissioner Kanowski retired as chief.
Things are running smoother now.
No comment on that one. But,
Oh, I couldn't help it.
Yeah,
with
well.
that one. I'll get repaid.
he's biting his tongue.
His face is red, I can tell. He's like,
Getting
Yeah.
mad.
No, we had a good transitional time. I was fortunate enough to be appointed chief. We've had a lot of domino effect in our agency. Captain Harkness was promoted. Detective Sergeant Rodriguez was promoted. The
You had a lot of good
meritorious-
things happen
The
down there.
corporals, yeah, and then
Yeah.
you can see by the table of contents, it's a pretty
Mhm.
inclusive, all-inclusive report. It's got a lot of detail, a lot of public service that we did. They're all highlighted in the
Sure.
report. So if you have any questions specifically, let me know.
Mhm.
Please
No.
help me out through it.
No.
Or even afterward, because it took a while to get this, and I'd like to
Yeah.
shout out to Captain Harkness, the SRO Dallas,
I
and some of our
appreciate,
trainers that really worked hard on this report.
appreciate your quick response on that issue that I brought to you the
Oh.
other day too.
And we updated the Facebook page and that as
And,
well.
and that was huge for the community. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Spencer.
Nothing to add.
Okay, thank you. Jason, anything else for you?
No, nothing more to report.
We're
oh
gonna,
my God, has there been any updates on any of the lighted structures or nuisances letters that were sent in the?
No, Commissioner, there have not. It still remains that we're in its present procedural posture, if you will, where we're at with those, and that's on me, that I need to move forward to take action on that.
I just wanted to check and see where that was. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Mayor, sorry.
one more thing.
Dominic, I forgot about you again.
These are
Yeah,
my-
Anything from the
That's what-
airport?
Besides what has been said, not really much has changed. We're just keeping the runway clear, free of snow. That's really it.
Good.
Okay.
That's it.
We'll get better at this here
Yeah.
coordination here, so.
I know, I'm forgetful.
No,
It's new.
it's
It
new,
is new,
it's
yeah.
new, so
Never happened.
bear with us.
Airport here.
Yeah. Okay. Nothing else under the portfolios. We'll move on to old business. And first item is the Downtown Safety Task Force and Commissioner Pierce.
Oh, we had a really great first meeting. Had a full house in here pretty much. A lot of great discussion and comments came out of it. We're going to meet again on March 12th at 1 p.m. and go into a little more detail on each of the things that were brought up. One thing that was asked to get done right away was a contact sheet that has the contacts of everything and everything in town that can help, who the businesses are, what their numbers are, because things were brought up like if somebody was at the library, this person hadn't eaten in days, and other things of that nature. Well, who can I call to get this person someplace to eat? How do I get them there? Is there transportation that can get? So everybody said, yeah, there's transportation. These are the people who can feed. Well, those suggested to make one contact sheet that has all that to give to the businesses and give to all that, so everybody's on the same page. So we got that started. So yeah, it was a lot of great conversation, and I think the next meeting will be, a good start
Good progress.
from moving on.
I thought the next meeting was on the 26th.
Yeah, we
Or
gotta
you
change
changed
that.
it?
We gotta change it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna send an email out here tomorrow.
Okay.
So you might make the next one
Oh, I
then.
thought you sent that on.
I have it.
Okay, well, let's
Okay.
act surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I think it was a great,
It's a good start.
the response was amazing.
Good.
So,
I think, and we're bringing people together. People are talking. People are we're trying to get people all aligned and hold some accountability to some action items and even bring along some people. I think it's going to be really tough to fix the problem. We've got them there, and we're working with them.
the assistant state's
Give some
attorney showed up.
optimism.
She wants to be involved. She's really excited.
Well, good.
And parole and probation, they were here. Yeah, it was.
Well, sounds like we got the right people then.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm very excited to see how this turns out.
Well, good. Thank you. Next item 2, city facility long-term planning and funding option. Spencer? Just,
Well, Mayor, members of the commission, again, to revisit the concept that we reviewed last meeting. In the interim, Commissioner Piercy asked that you'd meet with the mayor and I meet with Commissioner Frith. We did that. I think we understand each other's perspectives now. May not fully 100% agree on each other's perspectives, right? But I think there's a mutual understanding there now.
actually, it was a good meeting.
It was.
Very good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It was good. I did go to Kiwanis today and I kind of presented the concept as well. Just a general overview of what the city commission is talking about. Mary, you're on the chamber board. I did talk to Susie.
I'm on the what?
You're on the chamber board? The chamber board. So
Oh, yeah, right.
to present that to the chamber board
Oh,
as well at their next meeting on the 17th. Not to get ahead of the commission, but just to let you guys know that we're trying to schedule things so we can inform members of the community.
the 17th of March?
Yes. In that, between the last meeting and today, Devin, you want to give a quick update on what you guys have done in regards to trying to nail down some cost windows?
Yeah, myself and Mike, we met with an architect last week. We actually have another meeting tomorrow with a different architect. Kind of working through with them on kind of a cost, an order of magnitude on cost, a scale, a range of what it's going to cost based on different options. Working through with them, we're going to get kind of a proposal from each of them as far as an initial, this is what we think it's going to cost to build new, remodel something, whatever it might take. That way we can present to you guys, here's what it might look like if we're going to do this, this, or this. As part of that is remodeling City Hall, making the police department, adding stuff on. They're going to include those costs. So we're going to meet tomorrow with another architect, work with them, hopefully get some ideas, and then over the next couple of weeks, probably get some submittals from them to present to you guys as, here you go, this is what we're looking for costs to complete, whatever it might be.
Right now, our target date is the March 17th city commission meeting to present you the cost windows. That's our goal. Also, Mayor, last week we went and we met with the police department.
Mhm.
You guys, I don't know if you want to characterize, do you think that meeting went well? We went just to hear from the folks at the PD, any questions or concerns that they may have had, hearing about possibly with downtown and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I think it went really well. That there wasn't a lot of conversation. I think they're more interested and intrigued at what's going on, and I think the numbers need to show what is it going to look like, what's the time frame. you know, inevitably what the city voters will decide.
Yeah,
So,
up them.
I think they're all interested. The designs that Devin brought forth, they're looking at those and had good conversations on that.
Good.
I think we're excited overall.
And so primarily for the commissions, we presented the concept, right, using sales tax for a 15-year facility bond payment, relocating PD downtown, building a garage, relocating City Hall to an existing building downtown, renovating it, doing a public good for a public benefit in that regard. Trying to offset the cost to city residents so that we're buying down the water source replacement fee at $9 a month, total of $108. So a city resident would have to pay $21,600 to be out on the deal, or to contribute more to the city operations than they currently do right now. And then using the excess line items to help fund public safety operations, make sure that those are long-term sustainable at their current level. Things like, previously having 16 officers, now having 20, having 2 SROs, having a fully staffed 24-hour fire station, those sorts of things that we do provide excellent public safety services, and we want to continue to do so at that level. And, kind of the creation of that little mini legacy fund, if we're going to be so sales tax dependent, we need to be doing that totally responsibly. And so as far as the general concept of it, and I think one thing I want to clarify, so this isn't a half-cent sales tax to go and build a new city hall or relocate city hall. This is an effort to get the PD out of their cramped quarters, use city hall facility for its maximum purpose for the city of Devils Lake long-term, create long-term funding sources for our city facilities to include offsetting costs to city residents and being sales tax dependent, but yet responsible with it. But as far as the general concept, you guys have had 2 weeks to look at it, to review it, talk to members of the community, and so we really value your input and feedback now that we've had a little bit more time to review what we've presented.
So anybody really had discussions with anybody that has been really against it?
Didn't you guys have any? I didn't want to step on any toes.
No, go ahead. I get some.
My side of it comes from being on the LEC side. I believe that renovation of the existing city hall to keep it the city hall, and then having the PD at the new LEC would be more feasible than, but that's just from that side.
I think that's how you would rather have it if it was all set, if we could be in a good location.
Yeah, I really like this location for the police
yeah,
department.
right.
Sure. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we've always been linked here the last 50 years with the law enforcement and with the
Yeah.
sheriff's department.
Right.
Because I think
Camaraderie is great.
I think we're gonna end up butting heads. I wasn't told what happened at that meeting with Commissioner Frith. I didn't, so I don't know what was brought up in that, but it just seems like it's gonna be a butting heads to either it's gonna be this project or that project. We're not gonna have the capability of doing them both. And what's one thing, what benefits the city as a whole if both projects can get done? You know what I mean? But that's just kind of my concerns right now.
Okay, yeah.
But and we'll see as it grows.
It's gonna have, play how it plays out.
Yep, those are just the concerns I have.
I think one thing you can't escape is I really do think the position here, where we would located this building and our ability to serve the school systems just as quick. That's always been a big thing. You got Central, middle school here. You got the Sweetwater. You got Prairie View even. St. Joseph's Elementary School, the high school, the college, even the quick access there. That's the big thing that's always on topic of discussion is, active use. We don't want to say these things, but that's what it is.
Would it be any different as to how many folks you have? And this is just for me, just for knowledge wise.
Sure.
You already have them out on patrol, right? Would there be any difference on how many are out on patrol to react? Would it make it a quicker? How would it make it quicker from here? That's what I'm trying to figure
out. A lot
out.
of times the guys in our off time might be down at the station doing reports events or doing training and things of that nature. Where we can never guarantee where we're going to be, or what call is going on at any given time. So.
Okay.
And, it is a great aspect to have the school resource officers to be in the schools to be able to respond. But I just look at the grand scheme of things coupled with the downtown safety issues that we've been having. I think it's for us personally, it would be a greater thing for the community as well. This gets, I think, back downtown.
So if I can we could maybe try and steel man the police department as part of a new LEC complex, right?
Mhm.
So is my understanding that you had presented, did you say it was like a $10 million decrease if you take the police department? What they had asked for with the garage space?
Yep,
now
it was a
$10
great, decrease. I'm just concerned on the steps of how we're going to be able to fund that facility.
Okay.
That's, if sales
But
tax,
Well, the legislators are gonna have, that's gonna dictate a lot of what's gonna happen, I would have to say.
So we're thinking, right, and we'll confirm this, but our general conception right now is 6 million is probably on the higher end, probably the higher end of what we're talking for this cost, right? So if it's 10 million to put the LEC in the PD, well, okay, so we can decrease that project cost by 10 million, and we're shaving 4 million off, the increment there for this project. Also, too, if we're in the LEC, we're gonna have to make probably an $80,000 to $100,000 lease payment every year, which we wouldn't have to
And I
pay.
understand that too.
And if they don't have our revenue, do they need to increase the rates per inmate? Yes, they do, but we're not paying the lease payment anyway. So if we're not paying $80,000 in a lease payment, but we have to pay 30 grand more to house inmates, we're still 50 grand to be good. So I think even from a City of Devils Lake Inc. Perspective, financially, it's in the city's interest.
Yeah.
On a high level, looking at it right now. And granted, I know that there's folks that are doing a hard work at a tough job over there at the LEC. But we're a report to the city commission trying to present things that are in the interest of the city, while being good strategic partners with our counterparts in our other political subdivisions. But I do think the plan that we put forward, and we were talking about this in the facility, I mean, what the residents would receive as far as downtown police department and city doubling down on downtown with the offset cost of them, to include the downtown businesses also getting a downtown police department. So I think when you factor those things in as well, while I understand the concerns, I would say that's why I see merit in the plan.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I was just letting you know my concerns were.
Sure.
I think in general too, the calls for service downtown, I don't see them really subsiding. If we increase our services, as we're talking about the downtown safety task force with the homeless shelter, there was talk during that task force about increasing the size of the homeless shelter.
Yeah.
Not to say that that's a bad idea or a good idea, but
Yeah.
more people downtown, the lower income housing that we have services that we provide, we in turn get a lot of calls down.
Yep.
I think having the face of the police department down here just will eliminate a lot of that. I think just by our presence will help control some things. We can't quantify that at all. But
Yeah.
I think I think it's a big push in the right direction.
Commissioner, you had some.
We know, I was looking at that, the last meeting we had, some of the handouts you had, and you were gonna cap that at 3 million, right?
That's the initial cap, obviously to be determined by the commission if we were to put language on a ballot, but
So,
3 million is the starting point.
right, so would it be, I know you talked about, like a government bond, investing in government bonds. Is there a probability of maybe investing in locally, like in local CDs? And because really the bonds and the CDs are about the same rate anyhow.
Yeah.
We can almost do it this way. We can actually benefit the community as opposed to.
The only thing that we'd have to look at is that all of our investments need to be FDIC insured, backed by the federal government. So it's like $250,000 a crack, but we would be able to sprinkle a lot of it around at the local banks. Probably the vast majority of that 3 million.
Yeah, I think we would keep our money here.
Boy, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. Any further discussion on that?
So still license to continue forward the due diligence
Oh, yeah.
and plans, and we're gonna keep
Yep.
the ball rolling.
Yeah. Yes.
We do want to get to action and a decision because
I do.
we want to
Yeah.
fix this thing up one way or the other. We just want to do it the right way.
Right.
For you. And so
Okay, we'll move on. Number 2, no, wait. Okay, consent agenda. Nothing. New business, the amendments to the rate and fees of sanitation rollout.
yeah, Mayor, members of the commission, as part of the 2025 budget, we had you, we proposed and you guys did approve a 5% increase on the construction roll-off rates. And in talking with Mike, we were going over it. They're usually specifically indexed to, if you have a 21-yard roll-off, you take the 21 yards times the $12 per cubic yard plus the $85 trip fee, and it would give you a specific dollar amount. We shouldn't have done a 5% increase. We should have done the math on that specifically. It's less than a 1%, or it's less than a 2% change from what we had. So just figure for the rest of the year, might as well do it the right way. Or we better do it a consistent way instead of just the arbitrary percentage that we had you guys do. So would recommend approval of that resolution.
Yeah, I'll recommend approval of the adjusted rates for the roll-offs.
Commissioner Kanowski,
I'll second.
Commissioner Hatch. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
Commissioner Kanowski.
Aye.
President Mo.
Aye. Motion
Mayor, for the
carried.
record, I would say that makes the rates go down, not up.
That's always good. Item 2, contract for city fireworks display. Nate,
Correct. J&M got a hold of us earlier this month. Just, they want to get it out early to see if we can get approval of that. They have us locked in for the 4th of July. If we can do the contract.
And that's how much?
Was it 22,000 something?
Yeah.
I think there's some change on that. But it was pretty close to the same as it was last year. So same show, same guys will be coming out to shoot it off. Be up
These
there on the
these
4th.
don't have to be, excuse me, these don't have to be advertised. for bid or anything.
No, you gotta have a license. for
Yeah, that's what I,
the-
yeah, I just want to make sure.
And they have all of their information as far as insurances and different things like that, if you guys need that.
Is it J&M displays?
Yep, J&M displays,
Same as last year, right?
Yeah, same
Yep.
price.
same thing.
I don't see the dollar amount in here.
22,500.
Okay, I'm missing it somewhere.
Maybe if you could just approve the.
Oh, there it
contract,
is. Gotta get further down.
Scattered all over.
Maybe you could just, if you're inclined to approve the contract, do it contingent upon city attorney review, because we just gotta make sure we got the liability insurance and all that sort of stuff correct on there.
Okay. There it is.
I'll make a motion to approve the J&M Displays proposal, contingent on the city attorney's approval.
Okay, we have a motion to approve, on approval of the city attorney.
I'll second.
Commissioner Pierce, second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Ash.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
Commissioner Kanowski.
Aye.
President Mo.
Aye, motion carried. Okay. Next item is citizen comment, and we have a Nicole Steinhaus that wishes to speak to us. If you please come forward and identify yourself.
It's Nicole Steinhaus. It's only my second time ever doing this. This
Don't worry
morning was,
about, be calm. and you're
this
just
morning
fine.
was in Benson County. It's been a long day. What brought me here to you guys started back in November of 2024. And I'm here to talk to you today about the police department. And what went on in my experience. Ultimately to get the next step on what I do from you guys. You know, this is where I was directed to come. I'm just going to give you a little recap and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay.
It's not long. On November 14th, 2024, I had reported numerous violent crimes that I was witness to here in Devils Lake and also in Benson County. So I started out with Benson County with my report, right? I report to Benson County all the things I need to report to them. They're out of the picture now, right? They connect me with Devils Lake Police Department because of the crimes that I needed to absolutely report here in Devils Lake. Absolutely had to. It didn't go very well from there. I first spoke. Well, let me give you a little recap though to get to this point. On November 20th, 2024, I attempted to report to the Devils Lake PD. Eyewitness reports from me as a citizen in Devils Lake of suspected human trafficking, drug smuggling, and human smuggling that I witnessed while I was an employee here for the 3 short weeks at Holiday Inn Express. 3 times I attempted to report these crimes to the Devils Lake Police Department. Officer Toso is here as well. I spoke with, we got nowhere as well. So I'm a little uncomfortable right now, but I'm going to try to work through this. So there were many, multiple serious crimes going on there. If not proven, at least investigated based on eyewitness accounts I had, evidence, many details, which is now 90 days ago. So any evidence or, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since. So the Devils Lake Police Department refused to take my reports 3 separate occasions. My conversations, with the captain, the conversation was so short, I didn't get his name. I don't know the new chief or captain. Sorry if I'm getting the title wrong, but I don't know his last name. Spoke with Detective Rodriguez, attempted to tell the detective as well. And I also spoke with Officer Toso. Officer Toso refused to conduct an interview and take my statement over the phone because I had made it to my parents' house in Minnesota by that time. I had 6 days in between the incident by the time I was connected with Devils Lake and started this whole process. To get to safety and receive medical treatment and trauma treatment that I needed. As a victim and a witness to these violent crimes, I was in pretty bad shape. I was so bad, I refused to leave my parents' house in Minnesota for almost 30 days. I refused to go outside. Since then, it's been a journey. It's not easy for me to stand up here right now. I've filed numerous complaints and tips with government agencies reporting all of these activities since. And also reporting all of the Devils Lake Police Department officers named as well, and their negligent misconduct in refusal of taking my report. They refused to take my reports. Not one time did I have the attention of an officer. Detective Rodriguez actually informed me that I had a no trespass order against me from the Holiday Inn Express. So if I was found anywhere on the property, that I would be arrested. First thing out of the detective's mouth when I'm trying to, 6 days later, still try to process and coherently speak because of what I had witnessed. So in regards to these, the tip lines and all of the things, the National Human Trafficking tip line was successfully made on 11/20 of 2024. FBI has been contacted, Department of Homeland Security, Human Trafficking Division. ICE I've also made contact with ICE and the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. I spoke with a BCI. I believe she was a victim advocate. I can't remember the correct title of her name. This is a couple weeks ago. As I'm recovering and getting stronger, I'm able to do this. I'm able to actually get answers, and I'm able to do this. So it's been kind of a slow going. I spoke with people at Legal Aid in Grand Forks. I mean, the list grows every day. It grows every single day. My biggest concern, well, obviously, these complaints are naming the City of Devils Lake Police Department and police officers that are employed with them to these agencies. My concern is the absolute misconduct and refusal to keep me safe, my child safe, and our entire community. To keep us informed and safe. As a victim of these crimes and also witness to these crimes, to receive no report or no law enforcement assistance whatsoever, left an even bigger bullseye on my back this whole time. You know, these people know that I know. I named to the captain as well. I named at least 3 people, first and last names. His response to me, and I want to make sure that you guys hear this, his response to me on the phone call was, "What would you like me to do, Nikki? Go round them all up?" And he chuckled. He was referring to the criminals I named by first and last names in the human and trafficking and drug trafficking rings right here in Devils Lake. The impact on the refusal of having a police report to follow me through any of this journey and to receive any victim services. I don't have a report. I don't have a police report. I did not have the law enforcement center's assistance. I did not have the Devils Lake Police Department's assistance in making sure that I got these things. I was unaware that we even had which I was listening to your downtown task force, the safety committee. It's a good idea, much needed. I was actually in contact with an advocate here in Devils Lake. I believe she worked for the battered women's shelter, the domestic violence. That I was unaware that we even had that service or that was even available. Are you kind of catching my drift? So like with the police report and having actual police participation and willingness to work with me, especially I was severely traumatized. It took me a long time to be able to even speak in complete sentences and to talk about what happened.
Were you beaten? I'm kind of
About this close. I was a witness.
So you're traumatized by the whole event?
Everything. And then every single time I'm trying to retell this story and trying to express my absolute, just sheer panic and horrors, re-traumatizing and re-victimizing me every time. And then when I met with, well, that's no grounds to go talk to anybody. I think the words human trafficking are pretty serious. I think drug trafficking is serious. We can deny that isn't an issue in Devils Lake, but it is. It is. Victims will not come forward if they do not see the Devils Lake Police Department believing someone when they come to them and say, this is what's going on here, whether you think I'm crazy right now or whatever your personal opinion is of me. It's your job as a law enforcement officer to ensure the safety of not only me, but our entire community. So on 3 separate occasions, I attempted to file this report. Delays and effects on legal proceedings. I can go on and on and on. I haven't worked since 11/14/2024. I'm not, that's neither here nor there, but well, it is though. My finances have been affected by this. I mean, my entire life has been flipped upside down. So yeah, this is my next stop, is to talk to you guys. I mean, I could go on and on about the details and all of the information that I tried to express and explain, which have been very valuable to the Devils Lake Police Department and to the city of Devils Lake. To file a complaint, I had looked and researched on the city of Devils Lake and also the law enforcement and Devils Lake Police Department websites for a complaint form and how to go about that, correct? Can't find a complaint form. I don't know if it doesn't exist or if it's just not accessible. I don't know. So I was, when the police officer refuses to take a report, and sorry, I had to write all this stuff down so I could stay on track. File a complaint was my first step, but so it's contact the police department's internal affairs or civilian review board to file a formal complaint. Do we have anything like that in Devils Lake?
Well, not for citizens. I mean, we have it for internal use for.
Okay, so the right,
We do have a complaint form for citizens.
and now,
Police department.
For the police department.
and now who handles those complaints? Because I think this is really critical information as well. Does that go to your desk, Officer Toso?
It goes to the Captain Harkness.
Captain Harkness, who would not take my report, which leads me here,
I can sure get into all your claims.
which leads me here.
Which I think we're gonna wait with that.
Which-
You are entitled to your rebuttal, but I think what we need from you is a complaint in written. Help me out on this, Jason.
So,
What would your recommendation be? So we're doing this in a proper way, okay?
right, I
You
would,
want-
I appreciate that.
I don't, this hasn't happened before, so we want to
I
make sure
understand that.
the proper procedure will be, he is entitled to his rebuttal to what you're accusing him of. But what would be the first thing we need to do to him, Jason?
I think you need a written complaint specifying what the alleged misconduct is, when it occurred, and which officers were involved.
Okay. And you can submit that to yourself, to the attorney,
Who do I give that to? Other
or
than
to the
the
commission?
police department?
I think, unless Mr. Saylor has anything different, I would probably say it to myself and the mayor.
Yes.
Yeah,
Chain of
okay, address
command,
it to
that's
City
okay.
Hall. And we will assure you that we'll address it, but he's entitled to give an explanation of all the
Sure.
same thing.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it, and I'd love
And
Devils
so
Lake to
that-
hear it as
I
well.
think that's the best way to handle this.
Thank you.
And we will listen to what Chief has to tell us. And then at some point, we'll have to get in writing, get back to you. We will get back to you, one
Okay.
way or the other. You know.
So next steps, where do I
You
find this
officially-
complaint form?
We can put one out here, Spencer.
Okay, you can get one from, here, we'll give you one before you leave,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
If that's the way we'll proceed.
And
with
now
this.
and then I'll do that, and then someone will who's contacting me?
We'll send you a letter from City Hall here to let you know,
I think I have your name and number.
you know, but we're gonna have an opportunity to speak to the police department, all the parties that you've addressed.
Okay.
They have a right to speak on their
Oh, sure.
behalf.
And again, I'd love to hear it.
So we will address that. Once you file the complaint, we will follow up with our part of,
Thank you.
talking to them.
I appreciate you guys, your attention, and I appreciate it. Let me speak my piece.
Okay.
This is important,
Okay,
very important.
all right.
So we done?
Yep, we're done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, okay, next item is, nothing under informational. Approve a motion to approve the bills as listed.
Mayor, all members of the commission, I would just alert you that the detention charge for the LAC bill was over $21,000. It's an abnormally high. We did verify and double check that is indeed accurate. It was an abnormally high month.
Okay.
February is much, much lower as of today.
Okay,
So
Good.
I'll let you know that we noticed that and didn't check it.
when I signed the bill, I saw that, yeah. Okay, what's the wishes of the commission?
I'll make a motion then to pay the bills
Commissioner
as listed,
Pierce?
as presented.
I'll second.
Commissioner Hatch, any further discussion?
So everything was on the up and up then? There's nothing I need to check in on?
Commissioner, Chief Toso met with the LAC folks and verified the record, so.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure there was no other work that maybe you needed me to go in and talk
No,
about.
appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, roll call.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
Commissioner Kanowski.
Aye.
President Martin.
Aye. There's no other business to come before the city commission, meeting adjourned.
Would you pay for ICP?